Hi, in this video I'll demonstrate how to add another ceiling light in parallel to an already present light. Right, there's the ceiling light that I'm going to start with. And if you look closely, there's another room extending in this kitchen. So there on the far side of the kitchen, there's a room which needs a light. Right, so having a look here, you can see this is the room, and this room needs to have a light installed. And I want this light come on at the same time as the kitchen light. Right, so I want to add this light. This happens to be a surface mount LED light. It is 230 volt AC, maybe in your country using 110, but nevertheless the principle is the same. I want to add this light in parallel to another light. Right, now there's the light. Seeing though I'm going to be joining this light to another light, I will need a terminal block, or you can use ferrules and join them using a crimping tool. I'm just going to use the terminal block, it's quite quick. Now here is the usual lights wire. This is twin plus earth, goes in your ceiling. It is live neutral plus earth. This is 1.5 millimeter maximum 16 amp current. Right, just a warning here. In different countries, there are different rules in terms of how you run your electrical cables in the roof. Now here you see a PVC junction box. Here you see conduit. Ideally, you should always run your cables in a conduit, or at least use shielded cable. Here you can see I've got shielded cable, live neutral earth, and the shield. This is round. Both are usually fine as long as it is shielded. In some countries, when you're running cables in the ceiling, they don't require it to be shielded, but as I say, please check your local wiring regulations. Right, so the first thing you want to do is switch off your electricity. Right, so you must trip your main circuit breaker. Now in some houses you'll see there's an earth leakage. It's important that you trip the main circuit breaker because some of the light circuits you might find are not protected via earth leakage. Right, to work out how much wire you need, what I normally do is just put the wire on the floor and walk the distance and add about a meter. Right, now you've got a few options here. You can feed the wire into the already present hole and get a partner, or later yourself, just go in the roof and pull it through. If the hole isn't big enough, you'll have to drill the hole bigger, or maybe just put a hole nearby with a drill. But be very careful when you're drilling. If you're drilling blind, you might be going into this wire. There might be a rafter there. It's best to go into the roof and check and see if there's anything in the way. If your ceiling is rhino boards, all you do is you take your flat screwdriver and you kind of puncture it in and you create a hole. Because this is a pine ceiling, I'll have to drill it with a wood drill bit. Now in my case, I've gone and checked, there's nothing in the way, and I know that I'm clear to drill right here. Right, now either you can feed it through the ceiling from the bottom, or you can take the wire with you as you get into the ceiling and you can feed it through from the ceiling coming through to the room, the kitchen. Now in my case, I'm going to rather feed it through the hole going towards the ground rather than feeding up into the ceiling. I'm going to feed from the ceiling down. And the reason being is if I try to pull that wire alone and it gets tangled, or maybe there's like a loop somewhere, it'll just be stuck. I'll have to get out of the ceiling and come and untangle it. Whereas if I go in the ceiling with a wire, as one person, I'll be able to do this job with less problems. Now the next step now is to go and drill the hole for the other light fitting, the light fitting which I still need to add. Right, so this is the pantry cupboard. And if you look towards the ceiling, you'll see that it needs the light installed here. And that hole happens to be the trapdoor, which I'm going to use to get into the ceiling. There you can see I have the trapdoor open. And now I'm just going to decide where to put this light for this pantry. Right, now having checked in the ceiling, I can see that I can drill anywhere here. There's nothing in the way. So now what I'm going to do is just make sure that the light is in the right position. I don't want it too close to the wall. Now what I need to do is get into the ceiling, feed the cable to the other light fitting, the already present light fitting, the hole I drilled previously, and then feed that same wire through this hole which I've just drilled. Right, so starting on the pantry side, I've just lifted some of this pink stuff, and there's the hole, so I can just thread this cable through. And now I just go and feed it to the other light. Right, so here I fed the wire through to the original light. All right, so this is the route I followed. It's a relatively short route. Try and use conduit. Remember what I said about the rules. Now, while you're in the ceiling, just do a little inspection. Look at this. I found this open PVC junction, and you should never be able to see the wires themselves. Look at this here. I've got loose wires in the ceiling. If someone had to stand on that while climbing in the roof, they could break that connector and actually create a electrical short. Always keep your wires sealed. Here you can see a closed junction. One of the reasons why you got to keep the wires sealed is also rats love to urinate on the wires. It actually destroys the dielectric, stays wet for long, eventually you start to have an electrical fault. Rats also nibble on the cables, and the rat itself might cause an electrical short circuit. Right, so now I'm just installing the light. These are ceiling screws. Right, now this is an LED driver. This happens to be an LED light. Although it is AC, live and neutral, there are colors here. So the blue goes to the black and the brown goes to the red. Right, so in this case the blue is going with the black, the blue is neutral, the brown is live, the brown goes with the red. I just put some tape over there just in case the earth wire ever touches. While in this country it's not mandatory to earth the light, I'm going to do it anyway. Right, and because this has been painted, I'm just going to file this. Right, so I just tuck this in here. Right, make sure when you tighten it that it is flush with the ceiling. There we go, it is flush. Right, now on this side you can see there's already a terminal block here. And obviously what has happened is the wire has come from the supply and it is feeding another light. Now there is another light in a dining room which comes on at the same time. So that's why there's two wires here. You might find this in your installation as well. I've got two wires here. So all I need to do is add my third wire to this group. Right, you can either open up this terminal block and join it to these already present wires, or I see the back of the terminal block is open, so I can just join it to the back of the terminal block, which is also fine. Right, so just a summary of what I'm doing there. I've taken the one light. Right, so just a summary of what I've done there. As you can see, there's that additional wire which I've just run, and I've joined the red to the red, the black to the black, and the earth to the earth. So basically, I've installed this in parallel. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to quickly do a summary of the electrical explanation in terms of the wiring diagram. And if you need further assistance, just check the end of the video for an additional explanation of the principle of how to do this. Complete. Now I'm going to switch on this light, and both lights should go on at the same time, the one in the main kitchen and the one in the pantry. Right, so there you can see the pantry now has a light, and there is the light that is now installed in parallel with the main kitchen light. Right, just having a look at a circuit diagram of what went on. Right, there's the supply, and it was fed to a kitchen light. Let's just put the light like that. There was the kitchen light. Right, so that was the original circuit. Now what I wanted to do is just add a light in parallel. So that's what I did. I just added a light in parallel, and let's call this pantry light. If we say this is the live and this is the red wire or brown, then I have the red there, and then I have the red there. And then on this side we'll have the neutral and the neutral. So what I've done is I've just put these two lights in parallel. So to understand the wiring, the live from the supply, your red wire, your brown wire, is going to the live to your kitchen light, the main light. There's the live or red wire or brown wire. And then that same live from your new light must also join there. So you've got live, 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 all joined together. And then on this side, it was neutral, neutral, neutral. That is why on that terminal block, you saw all the black wires together and all the red wires together. Right, so another way of drawing this is just in block formation. This is your DB board, and there comes your live and your neutral, and it goes to your first light. There is your kitchen light. So there was your kitchen light, live and neutral. Now we wanted to add the second light, pantry light, and then I just joined the same neutral to the pantry light, and the live went like this. There you can see live neutral, live goes to live of the kitchen light, join there to the live of the pantry light, the neutral goes there, neutral to the kitchen light, neutral goes to the pantry light. In my particular installation, I had another light over here, which was my dining room light. So I'll just draw it like that, and that was the neutral, and therefore I had another live over there. That is why I had 3 lives on the kitchen light, because I had a third light there. So the takeaway here is that when you're adding a light in parallel, you just join the live to the live and the neutral to the neutral. The earths are common.